What's going on, guys? TK Pryor coming at you. Just want to hit you guys with a little bit of personal commentary, as I always do. I haven't come at you with a video in a long time. Been busy working on other things, but wow, the writing's on the wall, isn't it? I'm not going to say I told you so, but what I would like people to do is to go to my YouTube channel, Master Wealth Builders, and just watch some of my videos from a year ago, because the writing's on the wall, and maybe now people will get serious about international diversification outside of fiat currency. Because the only thing I've ever said is that fiat currency has inherent problems. The system was built to propagate those who know the rules and manipulate those who don't. So the manipulation and greed and access control has gotten to the point where there's repercussions. And for the longest, no one believed that there ever would be repercussions to printing infinite supplies of money and then hoarding it only at the top 1% of the society. But it seems that there are repercussions to doing or operating that way, and now they're so obvious that the writing's more visible on the wall. So you're starting to see reverberations through the fiat currency system. And one thing that people can't seem to understand is that the fiat system is one system. It's all integrated through a central bank known as the Rothschild system. So every central bank is tied to each other, and when one economy ripples, those effects then propagate out to other economies. So just because this fiat system over here fails and you're like, F them, it's not the US. The world financial system is one system in terms of fiat currency. So a ripple on one side is going to propagate to the other side. But that's not something that people can seem to grasp. I mean, the whole fractional reserve Ponzi scheme bank system is something that the average person can't seem to grasp. So everyone runs around with the chicken, Cyprus, Argentina, Zimbabwe, all over again, Chile. But there's no reason to do that, because there's options. I mean, everybody acts like there's no options. The sky is falling, there's no options, when there are options. If you totally opt out of the fiat currency system and you step into sovereign money that's decentralized in nature, then you save yourself, because you become your own bank. You're not affected by inflation, and who cares what happens in the market, because you have sovereign money. So that's something else that I've been talking about for an extended period of time, is to set yourself up with sovereign money, become your own bank, get into international diversification. I mean, but no one listens, no one cares. The only way to get money is job, and job keeps you just over broke. So you don't progress. Then you complain that you're not progressing, and then you act like there's no options. Oh my God, I don't know what I'm supposed to do because there's just no options. I have 3 jobs and I'm not making it. There are options. The option is to check out a fiat. Check out a fiat. That's how you save yourself. And to the degree that you check out, and to the degree that you build your own bank, is to the degree that you will be safe. And that's not something that you can teach people. That's not something that people are willing to learn. So maybe people deserve the pain that's coming to fiat currency. Because if you refuse to diversify, you refuse to learn, refuse to become your own bank, then there are options, but you don't want the options. So maybe you deserve the pain that's hitting the fiat currency market. You know, the Ponzi scheme only works as long as there's willing participants. So if you opt out, then guess what? You know, when history repeats itself, it runs in 360 degrees. So when the same thing that is going on right now happened in Chile and the financial system crashed, what was it, in the 80s? You were able to buy a city block for 1 ounce of gold. But how many people have that sovereign money today? And then how many people are willing to buy that sovereign money through a leverage-based payment system that gives you a commission every time you refer somebody else to buy it? See, there's different tactics you can implement to create your own bank assets, and then capitalize or begin to stack those assets within your international sovereign bank. But again, these financial methods don't seem to be what the average person is interested in. If you knew what was going to happen a year ago when I was telling you, and a lot of other people were saying what was going to happen to fiat currency, you would have ran to establishing your own bank, because it's financial insurance. It's inflation-proof against chaos. Inflation-proof insurance that acts as a hedge against chaos, right? Okay, so here's the deal. People always have to hit their head against the curve before they realize that there's a curve. You know, the average person doesn't have the ability to think forward, to proactively plan for the future, and do something financially that makes sense in terms of providing a more secure future for you and your family. You know, insurance is something that you should have just in case. But when you talk about financial insurance in terms of becoming your own sovereign bank and putting international money in that bank that is outside of the government, outside of the bank system, and outside of fiat, people are like, yeah, no, I'm going to stick to job. I'm going to stick to my paper money. When that's idiotic and asking for pain. So none of this stuff that's going on right now surprises me, because those of us who study the market, the trends that forecasted this was already on the wall a year ago. We can't say when, but all fiat currency returns to its intrinsic value of zero. It costs 4 cents to print a $100 bill and 4 cents to print a $1 bill. So the term fiat just means that the government says it's legal tender. They deem it valuable, but that doesn't mean that it is valuable, or that you have to participate in that system. I'm going to leave you guys with that. I encourage you to do something to change your financial future. Do something to prepare for the times that are coming. Or just sit back and complain that you don't have enough, you don't make enough, and that your paper money don't buy enough. Because that's really what it's going to boil down to. It's going to boil down to Cyprus all over again, Greece all over again, Zimbabwe all over again, Chile, Argentina all over again. Except it's going to happen on a larger scale, and it's just going to usher in the excuse to get rid of cash. You know, the attack on cash is drug, quote unquote, and security. So here's the Trojan horse, and then everyone's going to say, yes, we need to get rid of cash. Anyway, you guys need to prepare yourself for what's coming, or complain about what you're not able to do. Those are your two choices.